Guys, we are here to review Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm Bianca.
I'm Chioma, and this is season 14, episode 7.
Who gon' check me, boo? So the episode starts off with Drew showing up to the Jamaican dinner thing that Sonya
hosted in some backyard that wasn't hers.
That was so odd.
And also made them cook.
It was so odd because if you wanted it to be a dinner thing, you should have did like a small little Airbnb. Like I don't know where that place was. It looked the ghetto. Anyway, I don't know why the hell Drew showed up. Couldn't have been me.
Because she had just uninvited her from somewhere the day before.
Literally.
So then why would you want me to show up now? Like, girl, hell no. You trying to embarrass me. And the way my temper is set up, that don't work for me. You embarrass me, it's gonna get real rowdy. So
I'll never even, and to the thing that's really irritating me, like I get that it's reality TV, but like Sonya, you could have literally pulled her to the side to have lunch before the Mommy Nation shoot. Like, hey girl, like I didn't want the shoot to be awkward, so let's grab some drinks or let's go get lunch and talk about this. That could have been the scene.
Which is also kind of, I mean, I get it. No, what you're saying is correct, but I also feel like, what is there to talk about? Like, this is fake. Like,
True.
You want beef with her first so bad.
Yeah,
like,
you want beef with this girl so bad.
It doesn't even make sense. I don't know what y'all would have wanted. There should have never been a problem on your end, is what I'm trying to say.
Because at the end of the day, your issue with Drew is, it had nothing to do with you, actually. And the actual person
is over it.
Is over it. So why you low-key trying to fight Sheree's battles? Like, why do you want to be in with it so bad?
Right now, it looks like she's a social climber. She's just trying to, get cozy to all the people who are like the bigger names on the show. That's what it looks like she's doing.
And I'm sorry, but I know I didn't care for Drew first season, but she's actually not pissing me off much this season.
No, she's not.
She just needs to speak up.
She needs to speak up. She got a little bit of a lying problem, but
they all
do. So.
But my thing is, she hit it on the money. Just because you are a 4-time gold medalist doesn't mean you can't be a social climber. You're not popular in this world. So
literally, Sonya's, no disrespect to all that she's accomplished, because that's a lot, because I can never. She's very talented. She's great at what she does. But I'm sorry, the 4 gold medals don't mean shit outside of track and field world. If you're not into track and field, you be like, who the fuck is this? Like,
yeah, you gotta really be into track and field or the Olympics in general. Like, out in the sports world, yes, you're up there. Like, but this is not sports. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta, and
you're clearly not on that kind of level, regardless, because LeBron James, he's known for his sports, but he's also known as LeBron James. Your name is not a household name. No,
not like a Marion Jones.
Like, if somebody says Sanya,
or Usain Bolt, like we know him. If you don't watch
if
track.
You say Sanya Richie Ross, I don't think everybody's gonna know who you are. Sorry,
man, that's no shade.
No shade.
I'm just saying, like, there is room for you to try to climb. So you trying to act like, oh, I don't gotta do that, was just please. And
then it was just so forced and so extra the way she was talking. I was like, girl, you look lame.
You couldn't wait. You were happy when Drew came because you wanted to go out. You were mad that when you thought she wasn't gonna come, because like, damn, I really wanted to go off and show these girls what I'm made of. So when she came, it was just like, yes, let the show begin.
It was like, no matter what Drew was gonna say, you was already gonna turn up on her regardless.
So yeah, she's a try-hard. Drew's correct. Sonya's mom needs to kind of just
mind her own business.
Their business with Candy's mom, which I was Miss Joyce, Mama Joyce. This is probably the most calm I ever seen her, because she loved.
Even last episode when she was like, y'all stop all that. She apologized, let's move on. I was like, wow, finally, the voice of reason.
Please, like, you need to copy Candy's mom and just sit there and eat your damn Jamaican food.
Because this is not gonna pan out the way y'all are wanting to. This is giving Wendy her first season of Potomac, when she was doing way too much, and then she saw that you weren't a fan favorite doing that. Like, you look a fool.
And why don't you new girls ever learn that lesson? Coming in hot like that usually never works these days. It might have worked once or twice for people in the past, years ago, but the problem is reality TV has now reached this place where it's so formulaic, and y'all be studying the formula, and you come in with your game plan. We can tell when you're not being real.
When you're not being yourself. It's very, very obvious. Like, it's one thing to want to come on and be the villain or whatever, but it's not authentic.
It's not
Like,
authentic.
Sonya wants to be that girl, like the girl. And first of all, as somebody who watched Sanya's show back on WeTV, it was a family show. This is not even her personality.
You could tell that's not her personality.
So that's why
This looks so forced.
It's so forced because this is not the same girl who was on TV like 8 years ago.
Sanya,
yeah, just hang it up.
It's a no for me. You can hang your peach up at the end of this season. So they go back and forth. Basically, Drew is laying out the facts. Like, look, Drew did the problem with Drew is when she does throw shade, she doesn't stand in it, because she did start off like, oh yeah, you know, when you came in my room to get your makeup done by Arnez for free, you know, you could have talked about it with me then. You saying that for free thing, you knew that was going to, at that moment, nothing was going to get accomplished. And she's like yelling like, oh, it was only $25. And she's like, well, did you pay?
Hey, did you pay? It was only $25, but did you pay?
And she's like, did you send me the contact info? Did Drew do your makeup or did Arnez do your makeup?
If you knew you got your makeup done and you didn't pay, and you really wanted to pay, you would do what you need to do to find out who I need to pay.
Yeah.
You didn't want to pay. Move on. We're not saying you ain't got $25, but you didn't pay. Next.
We know you have the $25, but the thing is, either you forgot or you just weren't worried about it.
Or you might just be, people are rich and are cheap.
Cynthia Bailey is one of them. Candy's another one. They be counting their pennies. And so they go back and forth. They're really not getting anywhere. Drew pretty much just says, basically, I feel like you tried to make it a bigger thing because you addressed me in front of the group when you could have, there were so many instances you could have pulled me aside. Mm-hmm. Sonya just starts yelling about nothing. I still don't know what
acting like a banshee.
She was talking about her veins in her neck are like
and you know out. She only about this big, so.
And then Drew kind of like slides it over to Kenya. Well, like, Kenya said something about friendships, and she's like, yeah, speaking of friendships, Kenya, something, why don't you say how you felt about the vibrator thing? And so then Kenya brings it up again, which I thought was silly because they already talked about it when they went to Jersey, I think, or New York. Kenya mentioned it.
I don't know why Drew brought that up.
Candy already said, like, okay, I mean, it was a joke, you didn't have to do it. So if I were Kenya, I would have been like, I've already addressed this.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the hell you brought that up.
And I'm sorry, I'm with Mama Joyce. Like, you didn't have, we all agree it was a weird game. Everyone agrees, the audience anyway. But no one forced you to put on the
same way Kenya didn't put them on.
So why are we still, why are we still talking about this? So the next scene is Marlo at this women's expo that she gets invited to talk about her foundation, Glam It Up, which is a great thing, but it's just kind of hard to accept from someone who's such a horrible nasty person.
Marlo is a nasty individual. Honestly, God forgive me, but all the things that she's going through in life, I'm sorry, when she was talking, you'll see towards the end of the episode, I just didn't have no feelings towards it. I was like, you're such a neat.
Did you think she was trying to squeeze out them tears? Because it was like, she went like this, and I was like, I'm really trying to be sympathetic, but I don't know why. It's just not.
I couldn't find no damn sympathy or no damn empathy for her. I just was looking at the screen like, okay.
So like the Glam It Up thing, it's like I'm torn because I do feel like it is genuinely something that's near and dear to her heart. But sometimes I be feeling like Marlo just does things for attention. Like, I'm not even sure with her. Like, after all you've been through and you can still be so nasty, it's like you stand in front of the girls like, yeah, don't let it define you, but like you're still nasty. Like you said, you were angry at the world, but it seemed like you still are. Mm-hmm. Like, have you gone to therapy, Marlo? Have you dealt with what you went through as a child? Because the fact that somebody can do a small thing that you don't like and you can't just talk about it, you have to go for the gutter. Well, that's why your mom was on crack, and that's why your husband had a baby on you, and that's why you used to be a hoe. Whole time, you're on camera saying like,
all I said was I didn't like your shoes.
Yes.
Like now, like now you're talking about me being in foster care.
That's
like,
so crazy. That's not okay, Marlo. You need to go get help. So Sonya is at home with her mom, dad, and sister, and she's talking about the dinner.
And of course, you know she's only gonna give it from her side. I don't be caring about things like this because you're only gonna give it from your perspective, and you're wrong.
And you're wrong. And Sonya, being Jamaican and being an Olympian cannot be your personality.
It is.
That's literally all you give us. Oh yeah, you know my dad, he did this, and I don't know, us Jamaicans, we always pop a gun off of it. I'm like, okay, what's next?
She irritates my spirit.
Like, I have 4 medals for, okay, what's next?
You can tell her, like, I don't really like your cooking, but I have 4 medals, though.
As a Jamaican, you can't tell me, you'll never tell me you like my cooking. I have 4 medals. I'm like, oh my God, Bravo, don't bring this girl back.
Ever.
Please. So then Drew FaceTimes Marlo. Marlo's telling her about what happened at the dinner before she got there. And she was kind of telling her, like, Drew, you were making faces. And I'm like, so? She needed to make faces because what Sonya was saying was stupid. Period.
And Marlo, pot me kettle.
You do worse than make faces. You be talking about people's kids, parents, everything, but no one can talk about you. And then you'll even go back to the same people you talked about and ask, can you do play dates with their boys so that your
mom's such a whore. She was saying, whore this, Candy's a whore that. Oh, Candy, you need to set up play dates with my... First of all, and Candy and her kids ain't even the same age. What is little Blaze gonna be doing with a 13-year-old?
Your nephews are
preteens?
In
teenagers.
Teens pretty much. So yeah. Marlo and Sheree, y'all are being unreasonable. Okay, yes. So this is kind of low key in regard to last episode because Marlo makes a comment to Drew on that FaceTime about Candy and like whether or not she's a good friend. And I'm like, okay, what the hell do y'all want from this lady? Y'all are being really unreasonable. First of all, nobody died. Sheree, you chose to date somebody in jail. Yeah. At your age.
And then you want people to have sympathy for you? You're a grown-ass bird. Like, I don't have nothing to give you. Sorry.
You act like somebody died. And sorry, Candy is grown just like y'all are grown. She has things to do. Everybody can't drop everything they're doing because this man in jail was free and then decided to show you his true self.
See how stupid that sounds?
Like,
and then the thing is, Sheree got a lot of nerve though, because when at season 10, when Kim was on there, when Kim was saying, "Oh yeah, Candy tried to lick my box," remember she said that? She didn't go back and tell Candy what Kim said.
Yeah,
Candy had to watch the show and she was like, she was mad that Sheree didn't tell her that, and Sheree was like, "Well, I'm not obligated to." Okay.
Yes, Sheree, you done spent every season on this show being messy,
the
throwing
bone
shade.
carrier saying, "I'm not obligated to tell nobody this, nobody that."
You just got through in a couple episodes ago. The streets. Well, let me just say, Candy has a reason to be worried about Todd. You do all this shit that if somebody do to you, it's a problem. Oh my God, they're not a good friend. First of all, y'all aren't even really friends like that. Y'all are coworkers. Y'all don't hang out like that.
The only person who's actually friends with that I know of is Kenya.
And Candy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually hang out.
Because I don't really even be seeing y'all hang out like that. You're one of those people I can't stand who always want something from friendship, but you don't.
Kenny, you can't give it. You're a horrible friend. Sheree's a horrible friend. Horrible.
Like, she act like somebody died.
You just dated a convict at your age.
Speaking of which leads into the next scene. I guess her therapist comes by her house, and you could tell he just wanted to call her a dumbass, but he can't. He pretty much makes her walk him through like how she feels. How did we get here? And he had asked her a question like, when you realize like, well, first off, he broke it down. I'm sorry. Like, okay, well, he was in a box and he had nothing else to focus on. So, I mean, he's going to give you all his time, all his effort. Now he's free and this is
other stuff.
Yeah, it's no longer just a fantasy to him. Now this is real.
He has to adjust back to being in the real world.
There's other stuff for him to explore.
He has options now.
So, I mean, he was like, how does that make you feel? And she was like, I mean, I guess I should kind of feel stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Not kind of.
You should feel completely
very
stupid.
150%.
Talking about I feel a little naive.
Imagine calling yourself naive at 53.
About something like this. We're not even talking about like, oh, I jumped into the real estate game and I was naive about it. We're talking about something.
Dating someone who's in prison. First of all, how many shows are about stuff like this? Love after lockup.
I think she
Life
really
after
thought it was
lockup.
gonna be different for her.
Cause she's Sheree.
Cause you're Sheree.
Who the hell are you?
Then so her therapist is like, look, I just want you to focus on you for the next few weeks. Like, don't worry about pouring into other people. Pour into yourself. What's something you can focus on? This girl's still mentioning She by Sheree.
That's never gonna happen. It's never ever gonna. Sheree, come on, come here. It's never gonna happen. You should have did like, if you were in the She by Sheree, should have been like athletic, like
At leisure wear type.
yes, like maybe you and it's too late now to capitalize on that. You should have did that like 10 years ago.
The window of opportunity.
You're done. It's a wrap. Go.
Because at this point, She by Sheree has kind of become a joke.
Joe, she should really just go and get her real estate license.
Go do something.
Because I don't know.
The only way She by Sheree can survive at this point is if you did come out with some athleisure wear that was so fire
That we could just forget about the failure.
Yeah, that nobody could deny. And people are like, damn, this shit is so fire. I actually got to get some. Because at this point, people joke about it. You're talking about all the, you keep talking about all this stuff you could have did or you were about to do and you almost did. Well, Brandy already told us, pal. Almost doesn't count. So, so Candy in the next scene, Candy, your husband has been looking really good, and I hope that
I'll let you know that.
I hope that you finally started giving him some more cootie cat, because I'm just saying.
Because what you won't do,
Somebody else will.
me.
I love the salt.
Me
will. I love the salt and pepper look on Todd.
He's so handsome.
It looks really good on
They're
him.
some really good looking couple though, because Candy's so cute to me.
They are a good looking couple. I like them together. I just want them to
Get it together.
get it together. So Candy, she's trying to donate some of her like gently used clothes to Marlo's Glam It Up Foundation. It's like stuff she probably wore once or twice, and she's like, I'm not gonna use these anymore. So she hits Marlo up, FaceTime her like,
Which is
hey.
even, if you would have known how dirty she was talking about you the week before.
Exactly. If only you knew. She FaceTime her like, okay, how do I, like, what's the process? How do I donate this? And Marlo just acts like she spit on her face. Like, I don't give my girls hand-me-downs. And Candy was like,
This shit is, first of all, half of that shit is probably name brand, like expensive ass shit.
yeah, she was like, some of the stuff I literally only wore once. Like, it's in great condition. Like, and she's like, well, I grew up on hand-me-downs. Marlo's saying this. I grew up on hand-me-downs. And, you know, I just don't want that for my girls. I want them to know that they're worthy. Okay, clothes is going to prove that. Like,
You're teaching them all the wrong shit.
you're teaching them how you operate. And that's,
You're
it's
teaching
not gonna
them
work.
that you, not only you don't have shit right now, but if somebody tries to help you, you should say no because it's not top of the line.
yeah,
Like, I don't understand, like, what is the message you're sending?
at the end of the day, if you are receiving brand new everything, but you let in like a man dog you out or do you any type of way, you still don't know your worth. It doesn't matter that your Gucci dress was brand new when you got it. Now, the minute you put that Gucci dress on and leave the house, is no longer brand new. Like, it's now worn. What's the difference? Like,
Marlo is so stupid. For someone who claims they grew up in the trenches, which she did. Because
she did, absolutely.
Behaves like somebody who did,
but she claims like she's come a long way.
but I
Really,
don't think she has at all.
You haven't.
And she's like 50 something. This is who she is.
This is who you're gonna be. The only difference is you just have more money. You have not grown like internally.
You could take the pig out the mud, but it's still a damn pig.
Period. And that's another one of my mom's favorite sayings too, actually. So in my notes I put, oh my gosh, shut the fuck up. Sheree, it's really interesting that you sat there with Kenya discussing like, oh yeah, She by Sheree, when just the week prior you were saying facts and preach when Marlo was
said that
talking
she was a
shit
whore
about
who
Kenya.
she never locked anybody down. Oh, she spread her legs to all these rappers and nobody would marry her. And facts. Yeah.
And I'm like, Marlo, who have you married, number one? And two, Sheree.
Sheree, question, who has married you? Bob, who used to beat and cheat on you? Okay. Who you have next?
And the
Tyrone?
fact that you let somebody that looks like Bob do you like that should have been the red flag that this Tyrone thing is actually on brand for you. You just be letting any nigga do any, oh, let any man do anything to you.
No, but for her to say that Candy has to date men beneath her, you literally dating a convict.
If that's not beneath your tax bracket, what is, Sheree?
His income is zero.
The fact that you were like, preach, like, huh? And then you got the nerve to go sit with her next week, the following week, well, this week, and just chop it up with her like all is well.
Sheree is not. She's not.
And then you want somebody to be loyal to you. Look at the type of friend you are. You're a fake ass bitch.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, y'all.
I think it's more frustrating that these women are this old.
Yes, that's my thing. It's like, I still want the drama, but some drama is just too childish for your age bracket. Anyway, she goes on to say in her confessional she does believe that Kenya is sick, and she's glad that Kenya clarified, like, because she was like, it was presented to me that, you just had on a face full of makeup and you really wasn't trying to do nothing, and Drew was doing more than you. And she was like, Kenya was like, all Drew did was take the stuff that I had already bought and prepared to bring to your house, but I couldn't anymore. Drew just bought it there. And she was like, oh, okay, thanks for clarifying all that. So now you believe she's sick?
I literally said this the last time.
Yeah.
At Sonya's thing.
What's the difference between what she said now and before?
Kenya literally looks like death right now.
And that's my thing. Even with the makeup, you could tell she doesn't feel good. Yeah. So I'm like, what do y'all want her to do?
And she has to show up to this, because I know that now they get paid by every episode they end. So it's like, she already missed that one episode. Like, she needs to get her money. Like,
and I'm just like, just because she's sick, does she have to look like a homeless person off the street or something like that? I'm confused on why y'all keep bringing up, oh, you have makeup. Do people not wear makeup when they're sick? I'm confused. Beyonce does tours when she's sick, so what are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, Kenya is better than me, because then she goes on to text them talking about, let's get together and rally around to show Sheree that we're supporting her.
Imagine, like, what is this? What major event has happened? I'm
trying to understand who died. Because I can understand even doing this, like, if she lost a puppy, honestly, because your dogs become a part of
I can understand it was a regular breakup with a normal person. This is a convict. What did you think was going to happen? Your dating somebody in jail.
Yeah, I can understand if that's why I was like, even a dog, like an actual dog, I understand more than this, because I'm not gonna
why would you having these events to support?
I didn't even know Tyrone was still a thing until she was coming back on the show. So I'm just like, who died? Why would he keep rallying around her?
For something that should have never happened.
For some dumb stuff you did. So yeah, Kenya's better than me, because I would have never did that. Candy is in LA
filming her show,
playing herself on this TV show,
which I actually that's a show.
That's the one you sent me, right?
That I'm gonna watch when it all comes out. Then I'm gonna get the subscription so I can do the free trial.
What thing?
It's called All Black.
Oh, All Black. Be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chioma sent me the preview on Instagram a few weeks ago. It actually looked kind of good.
Anybody knows me know I love a good black.
Don't let the glasses fool you. I love a good hood show.
I love a good hood show. Well, it's not even a hood show. I like black stuff. So all the whiteys, get to the back. I'm just JK to our white subscribers. We love y'all too.
I'm just kidding, y'all. But you still can't say the N-word. So I was so glad that Kenya address Marlo.
Because Marlo brings up the whole, because Candy couldn't show up because she's in LA filming. Mm-hmm. So Marlo brought up the whole thing, like, can y'all believe Candy was trying to give me hand-me-downs? Candy was like, bro, please.
Like, you sound fucking ridiculous.
You sound so ridiculous. Like, Candy was like, I wore hand-me-downs and everybody gets made fun of. You'll survive.
And like, you really
think you're gonna give these girls are gonna put those clothes on and be like, oh, this looks like somebody wore it once.
You trying to tell me that the girls are gonna wear Balmain t-shirt that somebody wore once and go to school, and somebody at school will be able to tell?
Those kids who can't even afford Balmain, what would they be making fun of?
The kids are in Target clothes, which I shop at Target.
But I'm just saying, like, but what is there to make fun of? Somebody has name brand on. Like,
how would you be able to tell that it's hand me down when I put it on? Marlo, you're
needs help.
stupid.
She's not smart.
You need mental help.
And I'm really evaluating, do you need those kids? Sorry.
Low key, I
Because
was kind of
something's
like,
wrong with you.
I feel like she's not, I don't know if she.
Where's their mom? I mean, not the kid's mom, Marlo's mom. Like,
I'm not sure if she's still alive.
Oh, because I
was like, is there a grandma in the mix? Because they need somebody to instill some actual meaningful values.
Because, child,
you just instilled materialistic things into them kids. Like, I'm trying not to go into my Marceau bag and start preaching, but like, that's something that I feel like Black people do a lot. I can't speak for the white community. I'm Black. But Black people do that a lot. Like, you measure your success by the material things. Material girl. And that's okay to like that stuff sometimes, but that cannot be like your being.
Your whole personality.
That's all Marlo is. Candy, who is the richest on the show, don't even be.
Talk about money the way that she talks about money.
It's crazy. So Marlo, of course, takes no accountability. She gets mad and then she says a line somewhat along the lines of like, oh, well, you know, me and Kenya could argue in text right now. We're going to be good. Like, I love you. Like, you know, as a single Black mom to Brooklyn, like, I'm going to always be there for you. It don't feel like that, though.
And honestly, Kenya better than me because after she made that comment about how her mom didn't love her or something like that.
We would have never got back cool.
We would have never been cool. We could have probably got back to cordial, like, hey, like, but we would never be cool. The kind of, and then just like episode, you call her a whore, like,
talking about you love this lady. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what kind of love Marlo showed. That's what I'm saying.
She never received it. That's why she doesn't know how to really give it. I feel like there's a piece of Marlo that does want to be a good person, but she has got
her evilness overtake.
Yes, it really does. She has got to go to therapy and take it seriously. Cause you talking about you love somebody, you're gonna support a single Black mom,
and then calling her a whore.
But you called her a whore so that her daughter can, you know, later on see you on camera calling her mom a whore.
And telling her mom that the grandma didn't want her.
That was such an evil thing to say because what y'all were arguing about wasn't even
Had
that serious. Had nothing to do with it either. I can never imagine that I would tell someone. That's like, you might as well tell somebody that's why your mom died.
And you know what it would take me to say something like that? Something you would have to really push me to a new level for me to say something. You would have
to been like intentionally being evil to me.
For me to say something like that.
Yes.
I can't see myself just coming out and saying something crazy like that.
Marlo will say something like that because you left her birthday party early. She'll be like, well, that's why your mom died.
I see why your mama died.
Trying to get away with your ass.
She's sick. No, she's sick. She's sick.
Sanya is just a bitch. That's what I put in my notes because.
Well, first, Sanya and Drew got there first, and they were sitting right by each other. It was so awkward because you could tell they were just like, "Oh, you look cute. Oh, you look better than me." Because bitch, I would have said shit. I would have paid that bitch dust.
Yeah. Like, oh hi. Drew was like, "Well, you good?" She was like, "Mm-hmm."
I wouldn't even said hi because I really don't see you. You don't invite me to places. Oh, baby, I don't see you.
You clearly have a problem with me, and I'm not about to chop it up with somebody that
does not like me.
So yeah, I don't remember how Sanya and Drew got back to. Oh, Sanya had brought up like.
Oh, she was saying, she had something for the girls who weren't invited to Mommy Nation, aka Sheree and Marlo, and this is why Drew makes me mad because Drew was like, "Oh, you mean and me too?"
Why'd you even ask that?
She was like, "No, not you. We still have some things to discuss." And I'm just like, why would you even open your mouth to ask? Why would you even
got on your phone and just been like, why are you even sitting next to her? That was my other question. You should have not been sitting next to her.
So, she was like, no. But she was like, well, I'm having a photo shoot in Portland. If y'all want to come. She's like she's a spokesperson for Nike. Their headquarters in Portland. So, they say that. And then somehow her and Drew get into it again. And when they're talking, I guess Sanya said something that Drew's like, okay, whatever. Sanya just starts like acting like a wild animal. And literally Drew's like, you're unstable. And she's like, why am I unstable? She's like, because you went from 0 to 200 for what reason? Like, what is your issue? So like, they're like close. Like,
so and Drew looked like she was at this point, she looked like she was actually
swinging. Yeah. So then finally, because like it's only so much and somebody's screaming at you. It's like, shut the hell up. So
that Chicago is finna come out.
Kenya kind of gets in between them and walks Drew out. And Kenya's like, no, she's yelling because she feels like you're over talking to her. She's like, well, that's her own problem. So bye, girl. She was like, they gave each other a kiss and they left. Like,
Drew did overtalk her, but I don't even care because at this point, nothing Sanya was about to say was going to make sense. So it's like, I think because Drew had said something about like, oh yeah, y'all, she uninvited me to this too. And Sanya was like, well, I never invited you in the first place. And Drew was like, you literally did discuss this trip with me months ago. And Sanya was like, well, I didn't actually invite you. It's that stupid shit that I be talking
Semantics.
about. You're too old. Oh, yeah, you're too old for semantics like this. And also, you're talking about, we still have issues to discuss.
We don't have
Sanya, there is no issue.
And if I was Drew, I was like, we just don't like each other. We don't have nothing to discuss. There's nothing to discuss. I don't want to see another meetup between Sanya and Drew. There's nothing to discuss. They just don't like each other. We're really Sanya just doesn't like Drew, and Drew should just be okay with it.
Sanya, something about Drew is
really irritates her spirit.
Irritating you, or you're jealous or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's very weird. It's starting to look very weird.
You look pressed.
You look pressed.
Like a panini.
I think we talked about this. Yeah, I didn't like how they talked about Candy and tried to make it look like she's not a good friend. Candy is actually very giving. She might be cheap when it comes to spending her money on stuff like for her, but she actually very giving.
She puts everybody on. I feel like at one point she was paying everybody around her family. Like, she's always trying to help people. Everybody work her restaurant is family.
And shout out to Scotty by Nature, because he also did remind us when the pandemic happened, she's the one that put that whole grocery thing together, bought all them groceries for all those families. And remember, I think it was like somebody, Cynthia or something, she was like, I'm accepting donations for groceries and stuff. Somebody was being super cheap. I can't remember.
It's probably Cynthia.
But I feel like it was Cynthia.
Because Cynthia, even though, me and Nene got their own, I got issues with Nene, but when Greg died and they all pitched in money for flowers, that was kind of cheap. For $200 flowers, it's like 5 of y'all. Like, y'all could have each got her. Y'all talk about money so much, but when it's time to really pay for something, y'all are.
I did not blame Nene for feeling how she felt.
You just want to say, you gotta say everything.
She didn't need to say it out loud, yeah. And also, too, I kind of do give a bit of grace to Kenya because they just weren't on good terms. So, I still think Kenya could have just sent her own bouquet of flowers, and that's all that should have been expected from her because they weren't friends. They were actually on bad terms, if I recall. But everybody else, I was kind of like, y'all couldn't send some food and flowers and stuff, if not for Nene, do it for Greg.
I think Nene paid for somebody's whole repast when they died. I forgot who was it. Somebody died in one of their family, and Nene paid for the food for the repast.
She did. I can't remember
who it was.
Damn.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
everybody else, yeah, y'all were being cheap. I didn't expect much from Kenya, but everybody else, I was kind of shocked because y'all actually liked Greg. And y'all say it all the time that Greg actually was
shit, even when Nene didn't like Greg. Shit, I'm not even sure Nene likes Greg with the way she moved on, but okay.
That's another story
for another day. Get that woman back her husband.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. My notes ended with Drew. Just tell Sonya you're done fucking with her.
Yeah.
Because you're not about to let this lady continue
to try to embarrass you publicly. But that was it, guys. We'll see y'all next week, God willing.
Yes, amen. Leave a comment below for us, guys. Let us know if you think Sandra.
Are you team Sonya or team Drew, or are you just team
you're over it? All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.